Police officers of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing you've caught teenagers or kids doing that is illegal, but you found hilarious? My brother was a cop who worked nights in Minneapolis. One snowy night near the U of M campus he noticed a car weaving, so he pulled them over thinking there would be alcohol involved. Nope, it was a car full of deaf people having an argument which included the driver. He just told the driver to not sign and drive. Watch this video until the end for good luck. I've posted this before, but I always find it hilarious cause my dad is a goofy fun guy. He's been a cop for almost 30 years now, and he loves his job cause he gets to be out in the community and make a difference. The guy's gonna retire next month and he's stoked he gets to play Battlefield and go on vacation. Anyway, he gets a call one night about some teenagers vandalizing a park. Dispatch lets him know that it's a lady that calls 24/7 thinking she's the neighborhood watch. So as he cruises in towards this park he comes in all lights blacked out and watches from a distance. After a couple minutes of watching he realizes these people are playing hide and seek. They also look a little older than just teenagers. He gets out of a car and sneaks up to some of them hiding in a group behind some trees and bushes. My dad hunkers down behind them and one of them looks back and sees him. The kid freaks out and starts to run and my dad grabs him and says, "Dude, shut up or the other team will find us." The guys crack up cause now they realize my dad is down to win this game. He ends up playing hide and seek with this group of 21-year-olds for the next hour. The best part was about 6 months later. I'm having a Halloween shindig at my house and my dad stops by cause he wants to score some burgers off us while he's at work. He walks in and a guy at the party is like, "Holy shit, your dad is Officer A-." He played hide and seek with us. While in college we got the police called on us for a violent crime in progress. When they pounded on our door we opened and they barged in. The neighbor reported hearing people yelling things like, "Shut up you little, I'm going to rape your fucking 12-year-old ass," along with a girl screaming profanity. When the cops saw it was 3 guys and a girl drinking and playing Halo, the one just looks at the others in sheer disbelief. The cop starts to tell us they were called in for a rape in progress and tell us how we need to be more careful and whatnot because it could have ended badly. During this time my friend is still on the headset and the other guys we were playing with are wondering what the hell is going on and are hassling him, and then my friend says with the cop in the room, "We were apparently raping you f***ers so badly somebody had to call the cops." And the cops just can't hold it in and start cracking up. They did give us a noise warning but no citations. Not illegal but certainly weird. Got a noise complaint call where the neighbors informed dispatch the parents are out of town and suspect underage drinking and or possible drug use. These types of calls are the worst because you can almost guarantee someone is puking in the back of your car and you'll have to write a buttload of local ordinance paper. We roll up, throw the overheads on to scatter as many as possible, and make a slow walk up to the front door. We play the nobody's home game for a while until one of the kids lets my partner in the back door. We subsequently find around 12 teenagers and what appears to be multiple bottles of rum and vodka as well as several baggies containing marijuana and some pills. Upon further inspection, we find the liquor bottles have been emptied and filled with water. The marijuana is actually oregano and parsley and the pills were just aspirin. They were having a pretend party to put on social media, but the strongest thing in the room was a Red Bull. My brother was once jumping his bike off the end of the public boat dock behind the city hall which also housed our police station. They had it tethered so it wouldn't get lost on the bottom. A cop came out, watched for a while and said, "I'm fairly certain something about that is illegal, but I can't figure out what, and it looks like fun, so be safe," and walked back inside. A few years ago a friend and I were walking home through a residential estate, drunk, after a night out. About halfway home a police car pulls up next to us and says they need to talk to us. They say that CCTV in the area had observed us entering several front gardens. We then drunkenly explained that we had been going into people's gardens and swapping around flower pots, hanging baskets and garden ornaments with their next door neighbors. One of the cops was laughing a lot and the other seemed really confused. Luckily they got another call and let us carry on our way. My friend had a bunch of prop arms and legs in his car, you know, college. He and his other friend were trespassing in the Northfield tunnels. Google it, and when they get back to the car there is a cop waiting. He asks to see in the trunk, so they open it. He jumps back a secretary, but quickly realizes their arms and legs are fake and he hasn't caught some serial killers. Then gives them a very stern shut the f up look as he calls his partner from the car to come look at this, all shaky voiced, as he tells my friend and his friend to put their hands up. Hella serious. The other cop comes over, looks in the trunk and freaks the f out, screams, and runs away back to the car. At which point the first cop bursts out laughing and tells my friends haha, he was, he was in Vietnam, and does a get out of here gesture and sends them on their way. So basically he used my friend to pull a super cruel practical joke on his partner. It wasn't illegal, but really suspicious. I was a cop in the Air Force. We had just gone into a higher FPCON threat level, and around 11 o'clock at night I saw 3 people in an empty dark field near some power lines with shovels and a garden hoe. My partner and I decided to stop them and see what was going on, because it didn't look like civil engineering or anyone that should be there at that hour. So we go up, see that they're all about 14 to 15 years old, and they're all sweating and out of breath. We ask what they're digging for, and they say they weren't digging, which after looking around we didn't see any dug up dirt. So my partner asks what they're doing, and they hesitantly answer that they were LARPing. One of their dads shows up and scolds them, telling them how shady they look, apologizes to us, and we send them all back to the dad's house, which was about 100 yards away. I hold back my laughter until I get back to the car, where I have to explain to my partner what LARPing is and why I'm laughing. I didn't catch them, but when I arrived at my first station after graduating from the academy, I was talking to some of the guys who had been there a while. I asked if they knew my cousin, who lived in that patrol area. Turns out they did. They had a call a few years back of some kids driving around, pulling up next to cars at traffic lights and waving a huge dildo at the drivers, laughing hysterically, then driving off. They were pulled over, brought down to the station, and parents were notified. There was one old timer who was a bit of telling me that my cousin was a pervert, as were his friends, but the other guys said they thought it was hilarious when it happened, and they never charged the kids with anything. I still mess with my cousin about that when I see him. I had a cop search my backpack once and found a couple of beers and a box of condoms. I was with my friends at the time, so he was like, why are there 3 beers, a box of condoms and 2 dudes? I was speechless. So I pull up on an SUV one night about 2 AM. Inside there are 4 teenage boys. The parking lot is pitch black, no businesses nearby are open, and they are sitting there with no lights on. I approach them and get several more units there quickly, cause some shit is about to go down. When enough of my peeps get there, we get them out of the car. They are unshakingly polite, respectful, and cooperative, and actually allow us to search their car and then their pockets. We find nothing, not even an odor of marijuana. After exhausting ourselves going through this car, I eventually cave and ask them what the heck they were doing, because I thought for sure they were up to no good and I was coming up zilch. They had gone to the 711 and bought a big tub of trail mix. They were sitting in the car eating trail mix. They showed me the receipt for 10 minutes prior and half-eaten tub of trail mix. I told them this was the weirdest I've ever seen and apologized that I ran them through the ringer. They agreed that parking in a dark parking lot eating trail mix looks sketchy and didn't have hard feelings about the ordeal. I'm not a cop, but I have a story where I made a cop laugh. It was after I got arrested for stealing alcohol from Target, and I was handcuffed to a rail on the wall of this room while I was waiting to be processed. The cop was just passing through and asked the guy being detained across from me what he did. The other guy, who was around my age, said he was there for retail theft, but he stole a bunch of jeans. Then he turned to me and asked the same question. After I told him I was there for stealing alcohol, he looked down at my shoes, which were a pair of really beat up Chucks, started laughing and said, "Man, you should have tried to steal a new pair of shoes, because those are f***ed up." I couldn't help but laugh myself, and he kept laughing to himself as he left the room. Security guards and not illegal, but in high school, we dressed up like robots. to protest march on the Plaza, Kansas City outdoor mall area to free the ATMs. Security came to the top floor of the parking garage where we were putting on the costumes because they saw us on camera. I quote, "We thought you guys were doing drugs or something. Turns out you're just dorks." Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Let us know your thoughts on this topic. See you soon.